and which gives a high yield also to us. Okay, they should be disease resistant, and the plant should give us high yield, and they should not utilize much of fertilizers, artificial fertilizers. So whenever biologists try to grow the crops, they see to this. So the correct answer for this question will be option B, genetically modified crops that can provide high yield. High yielding plants are always tried to be grown by the biological knowledge. Okay, I hope the answer is clear to all of you. And now we'll watch a small video on how to grow the crops. Okay,
Plants.
please watch this.
Okay.
So guys, it is about 3 minutes. So we'll see.
Large perennial woody plant. Why is a tree so important? It has various uses like landscaping, agriculture, and the wood can be used for fencing, for timber, firewood, etc. Let us now understand how to grow a tree. When we were little kids, we used to take some chickpeas, place them in the cotton and see how they used to grow. Those chickpeas which turned into a seedling which had some shoot and some root. These seedlings are the beginning of growing a tree. Now this seedling is prepared where? It's prepared in a tiny pot in our houses. The seedling requires a lot of care. Once they start growing and start showing some leaves, we pick them up and take them to the site where we need to grow the tree. We dig a hole as the first step, and the hole is to be 3 times bigger than the root ball. Now what is the root ball? Well, it is a tightly packed mass of the root and the soil which generally comes when we grow the plant in a small container. We take this seedling and place it in the hole. Then we are going to fill up with some soil. This soil has to be a mixture of the soil from the ground and from the container where we grew it. It has to be in the ratio of 50 to 50. We fill up the soil right up till the root ball. After that, we place some mulch around the plant if needed. Now what is mulch? Mulch is nothing but compost to increase the fertility of the soil. Your tree is now planted and ready to grow. We just saw that a tree can be grown in 3 simple steps. Dig a hole, place your seedling, cover it up with soil and put the mulch all around it.
So,
Okay,
you understood, people, the process?
I have a question, Mr.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, please.
Yes, please go ahead.
Why should be the hole must be 3 times bigger than the original plant?
Yeah, the hole must be bigger. It should be greater than that because the root is going to develop further. So it should get some space to grow lengthwise and widthwise. Okay, when you're planting it in the soil, it needs some space to spread the roots. And if the hole is very small, where are the roots going to spread then? How will the plant grow? So for that purpose, you have to make a bigger hole. Okay. I hope you are clear.
Yes, it's good.
Yes. So
Yes,
now
ma'am.
we'll move on with our questions. Yes. Wait a minute. Okay, so this question we have discussed. Now question number 6. Which association is correct? Okay, radicle is the region above the cotyledon. Hypocotyle is the region below the cotyledon. Plumule is the future root. Testa is the future shoot. Okay.
Start. Yes, ma'am. I think everyone's ready to start.
Okay. So you all have answered. Very good. The right answer for this question will be option B, hypocotyle. Okay, this lies below the cotyledon. Okay, now cotyledon is a leaf-like structure which provides the food to the developing seed. Okay, so we'll just look at the structure of the seed and then I'll explain it to you. See here, this is the structure of the seed, which contains the cotyledon, which has the nutrition for the developing seed. Now here it contains the radicle. Okay, and above the radicle you can see the hypocotyle, and above the hypocotyle there will be the plumule. Now this radicle is going to develop into the root. The root which develops in the plants, it actually originates from the radicle, and the shoot system, the stem which comes out, is actually from the plumule. So the plumule develops into the shoot system and the radicle develops into the root system. Okay, and this seed coat, the outer layer of the seed which you can see, it is called as the testa. Okay, this is the testa, the outer covering of the seed, and hypocotyle lies below the cotyledon and above the radicle. Okay, so the right answer for this question is option D. Here they have given plumule as the future root. It is actually the future shoot. Testa is not the future shoot, it is the seed coat or the covering of the seed. Okay, and radicle, it lies below the cotyledon, it develops into the root system. It is the future root. Okay, is it clear? Now let's move on to the question number 7. Which one of the following parts of the plant is correctly matched with its function? Cuticle prevents transpiration. Phloem transports water. Xylem prepares food. Or cortex produces vascular bundle.
Start. Yes, ma'am. We can start, I think.
So the right answer for this question is option A, cuticle. Okay, last session I have shown you the diagram of the leaf. The outermost layer is called as the cuticle. Okay, and the cuticle's main function is to prevent transpiration, loss of water from the leaves. Okay, whereas the phloem, it is a conducting tissue which helps in the transport of food, not water. And xylem is the tissue which helps in transportation of water. It doesn't prepare the food, instead it transports water. And cortex does not produces the vascular bundles, but it helps in the transportation of the material from the vascular bundle to the other parts of the plant. Okay, so the right answer for this question is option A. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, question number 8. New plants can grow from rhizomes of some plants. This process is called self-pollination, cross-pollination, vegetative propagation, or layering.
Start. Okay, a lot of A and C. Olana, you have answered A. Why is it A, Olana? Olana,
Olana, please unmute yourself.
why is it A? Okay. Arsima, you said D. Why Arsima D? Can you explain? No. Okay. Yes, yes.
Because the layering
Yes.
is when the part of the plant is inside of the soil and it forms a new root.
Okay.
answer?
Yeah, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, you can
It is
answer it.
it's vegetative propagation because it uses the part of the vegetable, no, the plant to reproduce.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you are nearly right, Tuli. Okay, now
Can
the
I
one who
answer?
has answered.
Who
Yes.
wants to answer? Yes, please.
Vegetative propagation is a propagation which plant uses its root or stem for reproduction.
Correct. You are right. Absolutely right. Correct. Okay, but I just want to know what is this self-pollination? Someone has given the answer as A, self-pollination. What is self-pollination?
Try.
Yes, answer.
The one who has given self-pollination, the answer can explain it to me. What is self-pollination?
It is when a plant has both its male and female gametes on the same plant.
Yes. And the pollen from the same stamen, the pollen of the same flower is transferred to the stigma of the same flower. Within the same flower it is happening. So that is the self-pollination. And cross-pollination means the pollen grains from one plant are transferred to the stigma of the other plant. That is cross-pollination. Now,
Self-pollination is a form of pollination in which pollen from the same plant arrives at the stigma of a flower.
Why are you reading?
Okay, just now I
Okay,
said that.
no problem. It's okay. Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, so there are two types of pollination. Pollination means transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma. Okay, if it happens within the flower, same flower, it is called as self. If it happens between different flowers or different plants, that is called as a cross pollination. Now, vegetative propagation means it is a method of reproduction in the plants in which the plant is going to use either the roots, the stem, or the leaf for propagation, for developing other new plants. So rhizome here, rhizome is a part of a stem. Okay, it is an underground stem. It is a type of underground stem. So when the stem is used to develop a new plant, we call it as a vegetative propagation. Now the option D here, layering, is also a type of vegetative propagation, but it is artificial type of vegetative propagation wherein we have to put efforts. Okay, we have to take a branch and we have to keep it in the soil. We have to put some weight on that branch so that after few days it will develop roots and the new plant will arise from it. So this is an artificial technique, but rhizomes are not developed by layering. Okay, so the right answer for this question is option C. I hope I'm clear. All of you understood this question? Yes?
Yes, Ms. Ram.
Yes.
Okay. Now, question number 9 says a plant that commonly reproduces by means of runner is option A, apple, option B, onion, option C, corn, or option D, strawberry.
Start.
Mr. Ram, the first to answer.
Wait.
The first to answer.
Focus first. Yes, ma'am. Start.
Okay. So the right answer for this question is option D, strawberry. Okay, strawberry, it reproduces by means of runners. Okay, so I will be telling you what runners are there. Okay, there is a slide for that. So we'll discuss about the runners in that slide. Okay, just let me see. It's there following. Yeah. See here, when we talk about vegetative propagation, okay, it, as I said you, it takes place with the help of the roots or by the stem or by the leaves. So in the roots, okay, if the roots help in the production of a new plant, you can see that in sweet potato, in dahlia, in carrot, new plant develops from the root. So this type of propagation with the vegetative parts is called as the vegetative propagation by roots. Okay, next by leaves. Some plants like bryophyllum, they have notches in the margin of the leaf, and in these notches there will be some buds. Okay, these are called as the adventitious buds. From these adventitious buds, new plants develop. And if the bud falls down on the ground, it develops into an entire new plant. So this method of reproduction with the help of the auxiliary buds, adventitious buds, that is called as vegetative propagation. Now, if you talk about the stem, okay, by underground stem, Okay, like ginger is an underground stem. It is called as a rhizome. Okay, we have discussed in the previous question. Similarly, onion. Okay, onion and garlic, both of them are called as the bulbs. Okay, they also reproduce with the help of the stem. If you just put the onion into the soil, after a few days, you can see that the shoot system develops from it. So it is called as a bulb. Then in colocasia, you say that it is developing by, it develops again with the stem only. So it is called as the corm in colocasia. And in potato, which is called as the tuber, you can see that on the potato, there will be a number of scars which are called as the eyes. And if you leave this for many days, on the eyes, you can see that small buds arise, and from that, a new plant develops. So this is called as a vegetative reproduction. Now you can see here the subaerial stems. Subaerial means half they will be in the air and half of them will be in the soil. So stolen, sucker, runner, and offset, these are the types of the subaerial stem modifications. Okay, vegetative propagation happens here. So in a runner, what happens? The plant's lower branch, it easily bends and touches the ground. And where the point at which it touches, that develops adventitious roots and a new stem arises here. So this is called as a runner. So strawberry and the grass or oxalis, they all propagate with the help of these runners. Okay. Whereas in a sucker, what you see that a little part of the stem will be below the ground. Okay. And then it grows into a new plant. It comes up and it grows into a new plant that is called as a sucker. Then a stolon. In the stolon, a branch from the lower part is bent down and it grows a little bit inside the ground and then it comes up. So that is called as the stolon. And here is an offset. In the offset, you can see that there will be a big internode, and on this internode, many adventitious roots will develop at many points. Okay, and above these adventitious roots, an individual plant develops. You can see a tuft of leaf. A group of leaves will be coming here. Okay, so they will be wherever there are adventitious root, on the top of that a tuft of leaves develop and an individual plant develops. This is called as an offset. This is a method of reproduction in the subaerial sense. Okay, understood all of you? This is a very, very important topic in your examination. I have seen many questions from this topic. Okay, clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. The event that follows the absorption of light by chlorophyll during photosynthesis is the release of oxygen from the leaf of the plant.
Wait, I can see.
Formation of glucose from carbon dioxide in water, splitting of water molecules to get hydrogen, splitting of carbon dioxide into carbon and oxygen. Okay, what happens after photosynthesis? Sir?
Start. Start. मेरा आवाज नहीं आ रहा है क्या?
आ रहा है सर, आ रहा है ना, मुझे तो आ रहा है.
हेलो मैम.
आ रहा है सर आवाज.
हेलो.
आई एम एबल टू हियर यू. हाँ हाँ.
ठीक है ठीक. ठीक है,
आंसर
हो
नहीं
गया
आ रहा
सबका
है
आंसर. देख सकते.
ओके. Okay.
Start कर सकते
So
हैं.
I think everyone has given the answer for this question. Yes. So after the absorption of light by chlorophyll during photosynthesis, at the end of photosynthesis, yes, I want the answer from you all now. Who is Galaxy? Please, Galaxy Tab, please unmute yourself. You tell me what is your answer. Galaxy, please unmute.
Come on, answer, people. Philippos, you said C. Why?
Mr. Can I answer?
Yes.
Okay, answer.
The event that follows the absorption of light it's the splitting of water molecules to get hydrogen and oxygen.
No, my dear, you are wrong. See, the right answer for this question is option B. At the end of photosynthesis, last time also I have told you about the requirements of photosynthesis and the products of photosynthesis. Okay, the products of photosynthesis, at the end of photosynthesis, two important things are formed. Okay, glucose is formed plus oxygen gas is evolved. Formation of glucose from carbon dioxide and water. This is the main thing which happens. This is the event which follows absorption of light, not the splitting of water molecule or splitting of carbon dioxide. But by using water and carbon dioxide, glucose is formed. Okay,
So I answer it first, right?
good.
I-
Good. If you have answered it first, good.
No.
Okay. Now, next question. Question number 11. Which of the following steps of growing trees comes last? Okay, now this question will be very simple for you. Place the pots containing the seeds in a warm area. Transplant the seedlings into pots for thinning, or distribute the seeds into the holes made in the soil, or fill pots with the soil close to the rim.
Wait.
The same question, language has changed. That's all.
Start. Yes, sir. Start कर सकते.
Yeah. So the answer is option B, transplanting the seedlings into pots for thinning. Okay, we have seen the video also. First, what is done? That pot is filled with water. Okay, and then the seeds are distributed in the holes made in the soil. After that, the pots are kept in a warm area so that photosynthesis can happen and the plant can grow. And then you are going to transplant the seedlings into the pot for thinning. So the right answer is option B.
B.
Okay. Yes. Now the next question.
Miss, I have a question.
Yes.
After fertilization in flowering plants,
Yes.
ovule develop in seed or fruit?
Ovule develops into the seed. Ovary develops into the fruit. Okay.
Philippos,
clear?
don't.
Ma'am, is the answer B or D?
B.
B.
For this question, the answer is B. Transplant the seedlings.
Mr. Who answer
Transplantation.
first?
Wait.
First, understand the answer, and then you think that whether you were first or last. Okay, the answer is option B. Transplant the seedlings into pots for thinning. Okay, the answer is option B. Right? Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Philippos, don't write too many times. Why do you write D so many times, Philippos? Don't do it. Otherwise, I will have to ask you to leave. Okay? Don't do it. Focus on the studies. Ma'am is working really hard for you guys. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
The next question. Why are indigenous trees preferred to grow than exotic trees? Because they produce several branches and fruits, or they are adapted to the conditions of an area, or option C, enrich the soil with important nutrients, or option D says provide quality wood for construction.
Start. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Yes. So I hope you all have given the right answer. This was a very simple question. We have learned about indigenous trees. Okay, Olana, can you tell me what are indigenous trees? Please say me the answer. Olana?
Can I answer?
Yes, David, please say.
The answer is B, are adapted to the condition of an area.
Very good. They are adapted to the conditions of an area. We know that indigenous trees are native to the place, so they are well adapted to the climate of that particular area, to the conditions of that area. That's why they are preferred to grow than the exotic trees. Very good. So I hope everyone is clear. No one has a doubt in this question. Let's move on towards the next question, 13th one. The proper care for young developing trees in their permanent sites include. Okay, how can we do the proper care of the young developing trees? Thinning the plants, transplanting the plants, or watering the plants, or increasing competition?
Start. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the right answer for this question is option number C, watering the plants. Whenever there is a young developing tree, you have to water the plant on right timing. Okay. Thinning of the plants is not the proper care for the young things. Thinning is done in order to give space to the other plants to develop, but it is not the thing to take a proper care of that. Transplanting the plants, from the pod, you're going to transplant into the soil. So that is not a way of taking care of it. Increasing competition, it can never be the way of taking care of the plants. So the best option is option C, watering the plants. Okay. Any doubts? Okay. Next. What is the function of mesophyll tissue in plants? Providing mechanical strength, protecting the plant surface, reducing water loss from the plant, or producing food for the plant?
Start. Okay, a lot of people said D. Nice, nice.
Okay. All have given the answer?
Yes.
Okay. The one who has given the answer as option D, producing food for the plant. Can you please explain it to me? Why do you think so?
Because the mesophyll tissue.
Yes, it is a.
Miss, can I answer?
Yes, please.
Yes, Kirubel, answer.
Mesophyll tissue contains a large amount of chloroplast.
Yes. Very good.
So when sunlight hits it, and it produces
Food for
yeah.
Yes, very good. Your answer is absolutely right. We have seen in the the LS of the leaf, also in the suction of the leaf, we have seen that the mesophyll tissue, which lies below the epidermis, it consists of a number of chloroplasts. Okay, so the chloroplasts are the site of preparing the food or photosynthesis. So obviously the mesophyll tissue is involved in producing food for the plant. Okay, so everyone is clear with this, I think, because it contains a number of chloroplasts, it helps in the production of food. Right? Shall I move on towards the next question? Okay.
Yes.
Now, which of the following is not a procedure of preserving plant specimens? Mounting, pressing, collecting, or reproducing? Which is not a procedure of preserving plant specimens?
Start. Kirubel, don't type before. I'll not give you points. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the answer for this question will be option D, reproducing. See, we have seen the steps also, the correct way of preserving the specimens, collecting and preserving. So the first step was collecting, then comes pressing, after that mounting, and then labeling. Reproducing is not a procedure, it's not a step which is involved in preserving the plant specimens. Okay. Now let's move on towards the next question. Which of the following statements is true about roots? The epidermis of the root is covered by the cuticle. Fibrous root system contains a single central main root. Root system tends to grow mainly in the length than width. The root does not contain xylem and phloem.
Start. Yes, fine.
Okay. Okay, David, can you tell me what is your answer?
Root system tends to grow mainly in the length than width. C.
Okay. Correct. Okay. So the correct answer for this question is option C. The root system tends to grow mainly in the length. Okay, you might have seen that mainly the roots will be increasing in the length when compared to the width. Width also increases, but not as compared to the length. So the right answer for this question is option C. The root system tends to grow mainly in the length. Okay. And we have seen the structure of the leaf, that in the leaf I told you the epidermis has the cuticle, whereas in the root the epidermis does not contain the cuticle. Okay, and there are two main types of root system. Can anyone tell me what are the two main types of root system?
Taproot and fibrous root.
Fibrous
Taproot
roots.
and fibrous
Taproot
root.
system
Correct.
and fibrous roots.
Yes. So Olana, can you tell me what is taproot system and fibrous root system?
Can I?
Can
Yes.
I?
The taproot system contains carrot and
Taproot system contains?
That's an example, Olana.
Can I explain?
system. Okay.
Say
Can
ma'am.
I answer?
Can I
Can I
Can I explain
explain?
the
Taproot
example?
system has
Wait,
one
wait.
main root
Olana, let
and
Olana do it. All of you please be muted. Let one student say at a time so that I can understand. Olana, please continue with your answer. What you were saying? Taproot system.
I was saying the example of the taproot system. Sorry, I said
Oh.
carrot for the taproot system.
Okay, but you just tell me what do you mean by that? What is the meaning of taproot system?
That grows underground. That grows underground.
Okay, and what about
Can I
fibrous root
explain?
system?
That
about
can
fibrous?
have branch. That can have branch.
That can have branch. Okay, Olana, just let me ask your friend, and then I'll clear your doubt.
Can I answer?
Seven, please.
Answer.
Wait a minute. Seven, please answer.
Can I answer it, sir? Next
Can
to
I
her.
system that has root?
I didn't
Okay, yeah.
hear.
Listen each
Think
other.
Okay.
everyone is
So
answering.
I have
I want.
Taproot
I
is
said
a
only
large.
seven. I'm not able to understand any one of you. Please be muted. Only one student, if he's
Sir,
unmuted,
so
I can
a
understand.
taproot system is a type of system that has a main or a central root that grows deep downwards. And
Yes.
Can I answer it now?
That's where the lateral grows. But a fibrous root system is a system in which many smaller roots with equal.
What happened? Suddenly, no voice. Okay. So you are
Oh, can
right.
I answer? I'm sorry, ma'am. Did you hear
Yes,
what
yes.
I said? Okay.
What? Okay.
Taproot is a large, central, and dominant root from which other roots
Develop.
sprout
Okay.
laterally.
Okay. Very good. So you all know taproot system, and do you know in which type of plants you find the taproot system? Is it found in the dicots or in the monocots? Taproot system
Dicot.
in
It's
the dicots. And fibrous root
Monocots.
system in the
Monocots.
monocots. Very good. So you know what is
I give you a
taproot system?
point.
It
Okay,
contains the main root. Now listen everyone, the taproot system contains the main root from which the lateral roots will arise. Whereas the fibrous root system will be having many small roots at one particular place. There is no main root. Okay, it has many number of roots that from one place they arise. So that is called as a fibrous root system. And this sort of root system is found in all the monocots. Okay, and it cannot happen that the root doesn't contain the xylem and the phloem. Xylem and the phloem are very important, the basic conducting tissues. Okay, now David, can you tell me what is the function of xylem? What does the xylem do?
Can I?
David will answer. Wait.
Xylem
Yes,
that
xylem.
transport food,
Xylem transports.
the water,
Very good. And what about phloem?
that transport
Water.
food.
May I
No.
answer?
Yes.
Can I answer?
Can I answer his
Yes,
question?
yes,
Uh,
yes, you can.
Xylem is a tissue of vascular plant that transport water and nutrient from the soil to the stem and leaves.
Very good. And what about phloem?
What?
Phloem, I'm asking.
Can I?
Sir,
Phloem,
Phloem, what
phloem
does
is
it
a
transport?
vascular tissue in charge of transport and distribution of the organic nutrients.
Okay, the food you can say. It transports the food.
Yes.
Okay, very good, very good. So now you know what is xylem, what is phloem, the structure of the root and types of root you all know. Very good. So the right answer for this question was option C. Right? Shall we move
Yeah.
on towards the next question?
I answered it first.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I hope all have given the right answer. Please, everyone be muted. There is some disturbance.
Yeah.
All of you, please mute.
Everyone mute, please. Who has a question? Gize. 1 second, ma'am. This is a question.
Okay.
Who has a question? Your voice is very low. Michael, Michael, your voice is very low, I think.
Sorry, mister.
Yes. Answer. Yeah. Ask the question. Who was asking the question?
Yeah, Mickey camera on, bro.
Hello, it's Arsema. My question is,
Yes.
what is an adventurous root system?
What is the question? I didn't
What?
understand what you are asking.
Mickey has camera on, bro.
Right?
Nata, bro.
Can you type, Arsema? Can you type the question, Arsema?
Mickey has a bro at Jaja. Ata bro?
Okay, no problem, ma'am. We can proceed. I think there might be some issue with her network. She'll come back.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next question is, vegetative reproduction involving bulbs occur in wild strawberry, banana, garlic, or ginger?
Start. All C, D, 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 B, B, B. Nice, nice, nice.
Boomba, boomba, boom.
Who's it, Lil? Lil?
Yes.
Mute yourself. David, mute yourself.
Okay, sorry.
Why are you singing? Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the right answer for this question is option C, garlic. When I have shown you the chart, I told you garlic and onion, these are called as the bulbs. Whereas strawberry, who will tell me strawberry? What is it? How it grows? How
Can
it
I
propagates?
answer?
Yes, Pevin.
It's runners.
It is a runner. Okay. And ginger, can you tell me what is ginger?
Rhizomes.
Rhizome.
Yes, rhizome. Very good. And banana, it propagates by sucker. It is a sucker. Okay.
Sucker.
Garlic is a, garlic is
By
a
what?
bulb.
By what?
Suckers. The subaerial stem
Banana,
modification. Banana, yes. Banana only I'm telling you.
Suckers.
By suckers. Okay.
मैम को डायग्राम है इसका तो दिखाना
Miss.
हाँ है next.
ठीक है ओके
See here. Okay, now here you again I've brought a diagram for you all. So here you can see the bulb. Okay, onions bulb and garlic's bulb. Okay, garlic, which is also called as lilium, it is the naked bulb. It is not covered by the scales, whereas this onion is a cunicated bulb. So that was asked to you in the question, bulb. Okay, and here you can see sucker. I said you chrysanthemum. You can see here sucker. what happens actually here in the sucker, the stem, a little portion of the stem will be under the ground, and it starts developing into a branch. And this branch, after growing for certain time under the ground, it comes up. And the point at where it comes up, it starts developing the adventitious roots and it develops into a new plant. So that is called as a sucker. So suckers are examples of suckers are chrysanthemum, and banana is also one of the examples of it. Okay. And I have shown you in the previous image about the offset. Stolen also I have shown you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Yes? Any doubts regarding any one of these? You can ask.
In the okay. Can I ask you one question?
Yes, David, please.
In product of photosynthesis is sugar and oxygen?
Are products, they are products. Sugar and oxygen are products in photosynthesis.
For photosynthesis, they are the products of photosynthesis. End
product of
products.
photosynthesis.
Yes, they are the end products of photosynthesis, right?
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Yeah, regarding this one, do you have any doubts regarding vegetative propagation? Anyone? Because this is very
Olana,
important.
turn off your camera. Olana, turn off
This is
camera.
very, very important.
Sorry,
Okay,
sorry,
please
sorry.
be thorough with this. Runner, stolen, offset, sucker, bulbs, okay, comb, rhizome. Very, very important for your examination
What
point
is
of
the
view.
example for cone?
What?
What is the example for cone?
Colocasia. Colocasia is the example for comb. You can see here colocasia. Okay. Now let's move on towards the next question. Which of the following statements is true? Mosses and ferns do not have flowers. Gymnosperms reproduce sexually using flowers. Flowering plants are fewer than other plants. Tall trees can grow anywhere on the land.
Let's start, Mr.
Sir?
हाँ करने दीजिए सब जानबूझ के लेट करो. Start.
Mr. Zazar are answering before you are saying start.
I will not take the answers. Don't worry.
Just focus on your education, bro.
I know.
Okay, no chatting. Please mute. Please mute everyone. Concentrate on giving answers. That's all.
Can I answer, Miss?
Yes, David, please.
The answer is A. Mosses and ferns do not have flowers.
Very good. Then how do they reproduce? Mosses and ferns? How do they reproduce then?
Can I answer?
Yes. Caleb, please.
Mosses and ferns reproduce.
They do not have flowers, then how do they reproduce?
By using spores. Spores.
By the
They
spores.
they reproduce by their vegetative parts.
By the spores.
Can I answer?
Yes, Galaxy.
They reproduce by their vegetative parts. Like
Can I answer you?
No, they reproduce by the spores. I said you, mosses and ferns. They do not have flowers. They are the spore producing plants. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so the option A is the right answer. And gymnosperms, you all know the seeds are naked. Okay. And then flowering plants are fewer than the other plants. It's not so. So the right answer will be option A. Okay. I hope everyone is clear with this and you all agree with this answer.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on towards the 19th question. Which of the following does not show plant diversity? Distribution, photosynthesis, size, or type? Which doesn't have plant diversity, which doesn't show us diversity?
Start. A, B, B. Still people are confused. Huh? Yes, ma'am, you will start.
Yes. So the right answer for this question is option B, photosynthesis. See, this doesn't show any variation. There may be a variation in the size of the plants, in the types of the plants, in the distribution of the plants, but photosynthesis will be the same for all the plants. The 4 requirements are there. two end products are there. The same things and everything is the same for photosynthesis. It doesn't show any diversity in the plants. So this will be the right answer, option B. Okay. Any doubts in this? You all agree with this answer?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now let's see the 28th question. Which of the following is a false statement regarding plants? It is a false statement. Okay. They are multicellular organisms. They prepare their own food. They have cellulose cell wall. They are primary consumers.
Start. मैम इसके बाद अभी और है?
नहीं सर, हो गए लास्ट है।
हाँ तो एक काम करेंगे, आप 3 क्वेश्चन एट रैंडम बना लीजिए कुछ भी।
Sorry, Mister. Sorry, Mister.
Yes, Michael.
Mister, what's the answer for question 19? Question number 19.
What's the answer? It was B, I think.
For the for question number.
B. Photosynthesis. It was photosynthesis.
Yeah.
Is it C?
No, B.
B.
Okay.
हाँ मैम स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं इसका।
Okay. So the right answer for this question is they are primary consumers. Okay. Plants are not consumers. They are autotrophs. They can prepare their own food. They are actually the producers. Plants are called as the producers. They can produce their own food. So this is the false statement. They are multicellular organisms. That is right. They prepare their own food is right. They have a cell wall which is made up of cellulose. That is also correct. But the statement that they are primary consumers is the wrong answer. Right? Clear, everyone?
Yeah. Miss,
Yes. Clear.
Yes.
what are regarding plants?
What are?
Regarding plants.
Regarding plants means related to plants.
Okay.
Out of these 4 statements, one of the statements related to plants was wrong. Okay. Yes. So, any doubts in this question?
थोड़ा मुश्किल सवाल है क्या आपके पास कोई ऐसे, मतलब जो भी आपके मन में आए आप बोल सकते हैं कि 3 क्वेश्चन करेंगे और जो भी टाइप करेगा पहले सही
ठीक है
उसको
सर, मैं इसका एग्जांपल पूछती हूँ लोगों से। ठीक है। Yes, now I am going to ask you 2 to 3 questions for which you have to answer the question in the chat box, and whoever will give the correct answer in the chat box, okay, sir is going to tell you that you're right or wrong. Okay.
Yeah,
my
so ma'am will,
question-
so guys, we have 5 minutes more to spare, no problem. So what we have decided is we will do a rapid fire, okay? So ma'am will ask you a objective question, okay? That means the answer has to be will be an objective answer. So the person who writes the correct answer first, I will see, and he or she will be the winner. So it's a good opportunity. You can gain at least 3 points. Yes, ma'am. Please start.
So you have to listen to the question carefully. An example of offset. Okay. Option 1 says sweet potato. Option B, bryophyllum. Option C is Iconia. Option D is potato.
Miss, I
Ma'am,
cannot see.
Miss, could you say it again? Miss, could you repeat the
No.
question?
Once repeat once.
Ma'am, एक
Question
काम
is
कीजिए ना।
example of offset. हाँ सर।
मैम वो करना है
Miss,
क्या
in my
आपको?
screen.
Annotation.
I'll do it. हाँ।
हाँ annotation कर दीजिए तो किसी को दे। Wait, hold on. Ma'am is typing. नहीं मैम मेरे ख्याल से आप ऑप्शन वाला मत बोलिए ना, तो कोई ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछिए जिसको उनको आंसर देना है, ये बोल रहा हूँ मैं।
Okay. Give an example of offset. Just give an example of offset.
Offset.
Of what, Miss?
Example of offset. Wait, I'll just type it.
You will not have options, okay? You'll have to write the word. You will not give you options now.
Okay, example of an offset I want.
Give us a minute.
Nobody knows?
Yes.
Faven, Biruk, Arsima, Heyman. Come on. Nobody knows? Okay, ma'am. I think you can explain.
Okay. So example of an offset is Pistia or Iconia. I have shown you that picture also. Pistia or Iconia. See, actually here what happens, there will be I'm able to draw, I'll see. Yeah, there will be an internode, okay, and at this internode will be very long, and from this internode many roots, adventitious roots will develop, and at the top of that flowers so a tuft of leaf will be developing. Just let me just select it, draw. Okay, and here the flowers will be developing. Sorry, the leaves will start developing, and again at another point a tuft of roots will develop, okay, and on that, above the tuft of roots, we can see the leaves arising. Okay, so this is called as an offset. So the example for this is Pistia,
Can you repeat the examples, Miss?
yeah,
Yes,
Pistia,
yes. She's
and
typing.
water hyacinth. This is also called as Iconia. Okay, the other name of water hyacinth, Iconia and Pistia. These are the examples of offset. Yes, clear to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, now my next
Okay, ma'am.
question. Are you all ready for this? Next question, even more interesting.
Yes.
Yes. Now I'm just drawing one diagram here. You have to tell me what it is. Okay.
David, mute yourself, David.
Okay, I'll give you options here. Okay, first question is it a stamen? Okay, let me just write it.
I think इनको उसको
Is it a
चारों
stamen or is it a pistil or it is a sepal or it is a petal?
Which one, Miss?
This one
The
which I have
diagram.
drawn, the one which I have drawn, it represents what? A stamen, a pistil, a sepal, or a petal. What is it?
Start. You have to type your answer.
What is this? What? David, what is the answer?
A stamen.
Very good. Stamen. David, can you tell me?
A stamen?
What is, yes, what is this portion called as the upper portion? What do we call this upper portion?
Me, Miss.
Huh?
Answer.
What is this upper portion of this stamen called as? And which, is it a male reproductive part in the flower or is it the female reproductive part of the flower?
Male reproductive, male.
Male.
Very good. And what is this portion called as, upper portion?
Filament and anther.
Anther. Okay, very good. This is the anther. Okay, and what about this portion?
Filament.
Very good. So this is called as a anther, and here it is called as the filament. So the anther and the filament together make the stamen, and it is the male reproductive part. This is also a very important question from your examination point of view. Again, they will ask you stamen, which part is it? Is it a male reproductive part or a female reproductive part? Similarly, a pistil also. Pistil, what is pistil? Which part is it?
Female.
A female reproductive.
Female reproductive system. Now my next question is,
Last
question
one.
to you all.
This is the last
Now my
question,
next-
okay?
Yes, the last question to you is, you have to tell me what are the pistil, what does
Wait,
it comprise of? Pistil,
wait,
what does it comprise of?
wait till say start, okay? Don't type before that. Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what are the parts of pistil. Come on, quickly, you have to type the parts of the pistil.
Start. Okay. Faven has given the answer. Arsima has given, Kiribel has given, Fikir, okay. Caleb, Nebel, right, nice. Yes, nice to see everyone writing the answer. Very good. Delina has given, okay. Kiribel has given, okay.
This is also a very important question. I have seen nearly, I think, 4 to 5 questions related to pistil only.
Heman, Olana, nice. So everybody answered. We can start the explanation.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See now, the pistil, no. Let me just draw a rough diagram of it. The pistil is the female reproductive part which comprises of the ovary. Okay. And above the ovary, it contains a tube which is called as the style. Yeah, this will be the style. And on the style, there will be an expanded portion which is called as the stigma.
Stigma.
Okay, so this one is the stigma, and here this one is the style through which the pollen tube will enter, and here the lower portion is called as the ovary. Inside the ovary, there will be the embryo sac, the ovule will be situated here, okay, in between that. So this ovule, after fertilization, it develops into the seed, and the entire ovary will develop into the root. Okay, clear to everyone?
Mister, I have a question, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes, please.
What is the difference between pistil and carpel?
It is one and the same. It is the other name of it. It's the other name. It is not different from the other. Same.
Okay.
Okay, the other name.
Ma'am,
I'll just type the other names also so that you will be clear with it. Okay, just let me write down the names of the things. Parts of the flower I'll write here. Parts of flower. Okay, so the first part.
मैम इसका करेक्ट आंसर क्या है?
Its answer ovary, style and stigma.
Okay.
The right answer for the previous question was ovary, style and stigma. These three should be written. Otherwise, the answer may be considered as wrong. All the 3 parts should be mentioned in that. Okay. So let me just tell you about the parts of the flower. The first part is called as the calyx. Okay, this calyx contains a number of sepals. Okay, so this is the first part. Then the second part, it is called as the corolla. Second part is called corolla, which contains a number of petals. Okay, then the third part is called as androecium, or we can also call it as stamen, that is the male reproductive part. And I said you it consists of the anther and the stigma. So if you get androecium or stamen, it means one and the same. Don't get confused. Okay. Then the last part of the flower is called as the gynoecium, or we can also call it as carpel or pistil. Okay. And it pistil it is. And it comprises of ovary, stigma and style. Clear everyone? The 4 parts of the flower, the calyx, the outermost wall is called as calyx. It consists of a number of green structures which are called as the sepals. Inner to that calyx, there is one more layer that is called as the corolla, which has the bright colored structures which are called as the petals. Okay, this gives a good attractive look to the flower. Then next, inside the corolla, there will be the male reproductive part and the female reproductive part, which is called as the androecium. The male reproductive part is called androecium or stamen. It has the filament and the anther. And the gynoecium or the carpel or the pistil, they all mean one and the same. That is the female reproductive part of the flower, which consists of the ovary, the style and the stigma. So with this, the structure of the flower, I hope it is clear to all of you. You should be able to answer all the questions related to the structure of flower. Yes, any doubts you have in this? Do you have any
Great.
doubts?
Great.
No.
Okay.
Great. So students, as ma'am said, this is one of the very important topics, and I hope everyone understood very correctly, right?
Tomorrow again, we are going to continue with some more new questions from this topic, plant students. So please be thorough, go through your textbooks, read this unit so that we'll have a nice competition then. Okay.
Okay, nice.
From this unit?
Okay.
Tomorrow
Going to
also
be
from
from
this
this
unit,
unit?
we are going to discuss some questions. Plants. Okay.
Thank you. Achal Karni.
Mr.
Yes.
What are we gonna have tomorrow?
Biology.
Okay.
Miss,
Yes.
I have one question.
Yes,
Ma'am,
David, please
Achal.
ask.
Algae can make its own food.
Algae can make its own food. Algae, they contain the chlorophyll pigment. Okay, algae contain the chlorophyll pigment, and that's why they can photosynthesize. They can make their own food. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sri answer kar dijiye, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, everyone. How was the session? How was the session?
Good.
Nice.
Great.
Hey, who's doing? Who's this? Stop it. Who's playing it? Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I think somebody is disturbing. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Thank you.
Bye, Mr.
Bye.
Can you tell us today's winner, mister? Today's
Sorry.
winner. Can you tell us today's winner?
I can't hear you.
Can you stop the phone? Yes,
Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye. Ciao.